Have you ever forgotten something important? It's amazing how one little act of forgetfulness can set the whole world astir. Thus begins my story. Last week, my wife went to visit our daughter in Kansas City, 1,000 miles away. She left instructions on bills to pay, letters to mail, and meals to eat. Now, I don't mind being home alone to take care of the cows, but I'm only worth about half as much without my wife to remind me of my obligations. That's where the problem begins. Middle of the afternoon, I got a text from friends inviting me to their house for supper. Knowing that Mrs. Beck is an amazing cook, I readily accepted the invitation and went on with my day, forgetting that I'd already taken my evening meal out of the freezer to thaw. Enter the unexpected, Darlin. It's my responsibility to make sure my son's dog does not run off or get run over while he's away at college. She's a smart little border collie, a good cow dog, and part of the family. Long about sunset, I went outside and called for Darlin. No response. She likes to find the deer carcasses along the busy highway and has been known to jump in other people's pickups. I can't lose that dog. So I climbed in the Jeep and went to look for her. After a frantic but fruitless search down the highway, I headed back to the house, only to find Darlin trotting up the driveway with a deer leg in her mouth. I was pretty upset by the time that was all over, so when I came in and saw that freezer meal on the counter, I completely forgot about my supper invite. I turned on the TV, popped my plate in the microwave, and settled in for the evening. Keep in mind, in situations like this, timing is everything. Well, after a long day, I decided I'd turn in early, so I was dead to the world by 8 p.m. That was about the same time our friends started to worry that something bad had happened to me. Since they couldn't reach me, they called my wife 1,000 miles away and asked if she'd heard from me. No, she says, not since this afternoon. No amount of zzz, zzz from my phone would wake me. So her idea was to turn the lights on and off remotely using Alexa and her cell phone. Still no response. By 9 p.m., they were sure that I was lying in a ditch somewhere, so my wife called our friend Johnny to come look for me. Hearing some serious pounding on the window by my bed, I jumped up like I'd been hit with a hot shot. Every light in the house was on, and there's a scary face staring at me through the window. Well, I couldn't imagine what in the world happened until Johnny told me that I missed supper and everybody's worried about me. Well, now, don't I feel stupid? Forget about it, you say? Don't worry, this won't be forgotten anytime soon. Johnny is still laughing. Darlin is in the doghouse, and the Becks have forgiven me. My wife is checking for openings at the local Alzheimer's unit, and me? I have this nagging feeling that Where are you? You were supposed to pick me up at the airport an hour ago. Holy cow!